Rakatu.
Café Bad Mercedes.
The film from Spain. There's a lot going on. I think that raise your hand who's worked at a retail store. Raise your hand who owns a small business. You can. There's a lot you can relate on both ends. Like there's like someone trying to like get away with something, and you like it's that passiveness where you want attention. Someone's getting away with something, and you just can't stand it until the end. When she was wearing the cop uniform, and kind of like starts at the coffee shop, her trying to get attention from at the bar, and then ending at where she's like kind of like she's still there, she's still trying to like get that attention.
I liked it. I thought it was really good. It evoked a lot of emotion, so it was doing its job, obviously.
Yeah.
But I found it just insanely frustrating. The whole thing for me was just really frustrating.
I think that's the point.
I'm an outspoken person, so even at the beginning when she couldn't order coffee, I was like, so yeah, the whole thing was just, I mean, I think even at the end she could have said a bit more, but I'm glad she finally grew some balls, Even though maybe according to the title she was wrong, because according to the title it says she actually bought it in
Raise your hand if she thinks she was wrong. No.
Oh, okay. Because the title made it confusing. It made it seem like maybe we were wrong.
But that's the whole point. People, if someone tells a lie like that, they're not gonna.
They're gonna fight for it.
Yeah, they're gonna to the end.
In a way, it reminds me of a Seinfeld episode, and she's George, obsessing over this issue for months and months on end, and stalking somebody. You could imagine George Costanza doing that, and I almost want her to be wrong because it would be funnier if she were wrong, but she is right. And the other thing is, I couldn't help but think that that red top with the black collar looked like a bad Star Trek shirt.
Well, we know what your influences are.
Yeah.
I think the movie's really about, like, basically, it's about, like, getting the right thing. Like, it's about standing up for yourself, because there's always going to be wrong, there's always going to be thieves, there's always going to be cheaters in the world, and basically it's how much you can take, how much conviction you have in yourself. And basically, how far you can take it. We'll go to that gentleman over there, because you go, like some of us, that aggression goes to our husband, right? Yeah. So a lot of husbands out there can relate with that, right? Like, go ahead.
I take it a little bit further than that. I felt the pain of being invisible. She was almost like a non-entity there. The bicycle guy ran into her. The coffee shop didn't even acknowledge that she was there. Nobody notices her. Even in the shop, she didn't do anything. When the other lady stole the dress, she was almost like not there. That pain was, like the other woman called it, frustrating or something. It really invokes that pain of invisibility, which some people feel, or maybe they actually have. They're just not noticed by others.
Yeah, great. Yeah, because we all want to be noticed.
I like the movie, but I feel like the ending was just even. She wasn't any better off from where she started. At least she was able to ruin the top, so the girl didn't get to enjoy it after. But she wasn't any better of a person because she still didn't fully stand up for herself, which is disappointing.
Okay, I don't know. What do you think?
I think she needs to learn how to order a coffee without being like so self-conscious. And I think if you can get through your life with ordering a coffee or giving people, like letting people know what your basic needs and desires are, you're going to feel a lot more calm when someone steals a shirt from your store. And I work retail a lot, and anybody who works retail knows someone makes off with a shirt or whatever it is. There's really not much to do about it. It sucks, it's awful, it happens, they're a bad person. Life goes on. Order your coffee.
I think she could have used a mediator. Or a sort of mistraining. It was, to me, rather frustrating to see her in that coffee shop day after day, watching a lady walk by, and in my mind, I knew we were going to see that top toward the end. Somewhere it had to appear. Because the movie kept going on and on and on. But yeah, it was to me a very sad story. At the end, it did justify what she went through. It was like a temper tantrum. They're ripping it off, and it was not satisfying for me.
Yeah, not everybody is confident. Not everybody feels comfortable with confrontation. And what really disturbed me from the whole movie was the scene with the bicycle. That actually bothered me more than anything else. And nobody gave this woman any support. Like nobody, even when they saw something right in front of them. Okay, the shoplifting event happened, nobody saw it. But the bicycle thing happened with a lot of people around and her husband. And nobody, including him throughout the movie, ever gave her encouragement, support, you know what I mean? Guidance. And I agree, the end was disappointing.
For me, I think it's baby steps. I think that she took a step in the right direction. I think sometimes in movies we want a huge, gigantic, like leap of a character, but I think that she took a step. Like she's more upright. She had 2 other opportunities to stand up to that girl. She didn't do it. The third time, she did it. And basically, it's sort of like the next step that maybe she'll get better. I think we're all guilty. We all can relate to a certain extent, at least in my opinion, to this character, because we all had someone in our lives get away with something, and we've never done anything about it. And I think that maybe I'm assuming most of us have, but I think that's what the theme of this film is. But that's just me.
And you'll have to ask yourself, if you're in that position, would you let it sit? Would you let it brew for 5 months over a shirt, or would you just let it go? And it's hard to answer the question because she's obviously entitled to feel that way. She's a small owner, business owner, but it's affecting her personal life, her relationship. It's just a shirt.
Yeah. No, and but it's the metaphor, right? It's the point. And I think that's another thing. We'll go to the lady in the third row. Is that I think sometimes you stew up about something that's meaningless, but it just gets to us. Go ahead.
For me, it was more than just a shirt, because as you saw from the beginning, she's invisible, not supported. Like, what the hell's up with the husband who she gets hit by the guy on and he does nothing? He doesn't even protect her, defend her, or encourage her. Like, within
called a crazy bitch.
Yeah, I know. Like, dude. Oh, okay. So, for me, it was like enough for her. It was like, this was like, okay, enough is enough for her. Like, this was just too much now.
Yeah.
So it was more than just a blouse. It was like her defining, I don't know what the term is, but she had to win this, she had to battle. And for me, at the end, in the coffee shop, there was a baby step change. Like, she did look more upright, and she did actually say a coffee please and a coffee please, whereas in the beginning she was silent. She was waiting to be observed or waiting to be seen. Yeah. And this time she's like, see me. So yeah, I thought it was progression.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
For the short, limited time of the film, it was really good making the mood tense. I mean, it really had me going, like, what's going to happen? Is she going to confront her when she's at the bank? It really built up the tension throughout the whole span of the film. I found it kind of shaky, though. I found the camera was kind of shaky for when they were filming, and a lot of events happened up close. It was really shaky, so that kind of threw me off. But it was really good how it started and ended. Started with her in the coffee shop and ended with her in the coffee shop, and how it showed how she developed. And like, first she doesn't know how to approach the guy. She just lets others go in front of her, and at the ending she approaches the girl, and she also approaches the barista. It connects those two things, the two separate stories and timelines, and that was well done. Also, it shows the woman's perspective. Like, if I was probably the guy as well, I probably wouldn't know what she was going through. Well, for the biker situation, I'd probably say something for that. But for the blouse thing, I'd be like, whatever, it's just a blouse. But she was actually going through a lot, and you could tell. Like, that's actually, like, she's just ignoring it, say, yeah, I think I bought it at your store. Like, she went through a lot, so that was interesting to see a woman's perspective on that.
Yeah, I really liked the last film, and I just thought the best part of it was the costume choices for that very strange, wherever the hell they were at the end of the movie. Everyone's dressed like crazy people dancing around, and of course, these two people are dressed as cops.
It's carnival.
Symbols of what?
It's carnival.
Okay, a carnival. But of course, they're dressed as cops, pinnacles of rule in society, with right and wrong. And I was really hoping that she'd snap and actually try to put her under arrest or something.
But yeah, it's everything in the film is about the metaphor of the main character. Like even the shaky cameras, the gentleman was pointing out, that's what she's feeling inside. That's why the cameras are shaky. I think this is kind of a cool movie, but like I understand why people want more. They wanted more of a conclusion, but honestly, I think life doesn't work that way.
I actually just want to say, the last scene, or the scene with the people dressed funny, it was actually kind of perfect for me because it's kind of, so Carnival in Spain and Brazil and stuff, it's a lot like Mardi Gras, and it's about reversing roles. It's about, you know, doing things that generally aren't allowed by law and whatnot, so that was kind of the symbolism behind that scene for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was dressed at the top, yeah.
I just want to say, both the last movies, the acting was incredible.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say the last movie for me is about bullying and how the woman couldn't break out because, like you were saying, nobody was helping her.
Yeah.
She needed somebody to show her how to stand up for herself. She wanted to, but she just couldn't. And it's like, and I thought it was so well done. Like you could really feel what she was going through, like not being able to say what she needed. Yes. And it's like you can't when you're like in that.
Her biggest problem in life is she married a jerk. Because seriously, he stood back and let her, that guy on the bike, torture her.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time, everything that came out of his mouth was just criticism of her.
Yeah.
So he was just a spineless twit. And how can she grow when she's married to that?
Well, that's kind of the point. So, like generally speaking, you do marry who you think you deserve or who you are, right? So she's passive, so she's going to marry a passive husband. Isn't that how it usually works? But it's sort of, I don't know, what do I know, right? I've only been married 5 months.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people didn't really like the ending of the film because they thought it was anticlimactic, but I think it was very appropriate for that character and true to life in general because things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
Yeah.
And it was really representative of the fact that if she wanted the situation to be fixed, that she would have to do it, no one was going to do it for her. Just kind of how her husband was always with her when she confronted that woman. He didn't help her. Her friend was with her that time they were talking, but her friend didn't help her. There was always people around her in the coffee shop, and everyone saw that, including the man at the beginning, saw that she was looking to order a coffee, but no one said this woman would like to order a coffee. They just ordered their own and went along with it. So if you don't take charge of your own life and make things happen, it's not going to happen.
That's a good last words of this film, and 100% right. It's a world of being bullied, and we basically, the only person we can deal with is ourselves, and we have to do something about it. Female power.